Okay, today students we want to talk about the volume of a pyramid and volume of cones. Just a quick reminder, pyramids consist of a polygon base, which is a triangle, rectangle, pentagon, hexagon, and so on. But the sides of the pyramid, which are called the lateral faces, are triangles. Now we need to talk about the parts of a pyramid. You have the height, which is the perpendicular distance between the vertex and the base. And you have the slant height, which is the height of any of the lateral triangles. So it's the triangles that are on the side. It's the height of the triangles. All right. So we have a formula for volume. The volume of a pyramid is 1/3 the area of the base times the height. And here's a short version. It's going to be big B, which we've already been working with, times H, the height, divided by 3. And this is the height that we're talking about. Okay? All right, remember, big B is the area of the base, and H is the height. That's what those stand for. All right, so looking at example 1, find the height of the pyramid by using the Pythagorean theorem, the slant height, and 1/2 the base. Now, when we give you problems, we're not going to tell you everything to do. We're just going to say, find the height of the pyramid. Okay, so if we want to find the height of this pyramid, it looks like we're missing the height. We're given the slant height, and the distance on the bottom of the base here, this edge, is 10. Well, if you notice, the height comes to the midpoint of the bottom of the base. So this is going to be, this length here is going to be, take your 10 and divide by 2. So it's going to be 5. So let's just do a little sketch of our right triangle. We have a right triangle here. This is a right triangle. And this length is 5. And this length is called H. And then our slant height is 13. So how do you find the missing part of a right triangle when you're given 2 out of 3 sides? Right, you use the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so the Pythagorean theorem looks like this. C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared. All right, so in this case, our L is our hypotenuse, which is our C, so that's going to be 13 squared is equal to, A and B can be the 5 and the H, so we're going to say 5 squared plus H squared. Then we're going to say, well, that's 169 is equal to 25 plus H squared. And so we subtract 25 from both sides, and we get 144 is equal to, the 25's cancel, so it's equal to H squared. Now, we don't want H squared, we just want H. So remember, when you're doing the Pythagorean theorem, you square root it. So H is equal to 12. And when we're talking about just plain measurements, that's going to be 12 feet. So that is how you find your height. Now, you won't always be missing your height, but just in case you are, you can find your missing height using the Pythagorean theorem. And you can do that for a pyramid and a cone. Okay, now we want to look at another example. We want to find the volume. Let's find the volume of a pyramid. All right. That's example 2, find the volume of the pyramid. So the first thing we need to do is we need to label our pieces. Okay, the base here, this base, which is a rectangle, has an area of 5 times 4, and it's in feet, so it's going to be feet times feet. So 5 times 4 is 20, and feet times feet is square feet. The height of our picture, that's from the vertex down to the middle of the base. They actually give us the height this time is 6 feet. So we don't have to find our height. We've got our information. All we have to do is fill in our formula. And our formula is big B times H divided by 3. Okay, so if we fill that in, that's going to be 20 square feet times 6 feet. So volume is going to be divided by 3, So it's going to be 20 times 6, which is 120 cubic feet divided by 3. So our final answer will be 40 cubic feet. Okay? All right? So that's how we find the volume of a pyramid. We have to find big B, which is the area of our base, find our height. If it's given to us, that's great. If not, we have to use the Pythagorean theorem to find it, fill it into our formula. Don't forget to divide by 3. Okay, now we want to talk about a cone. Now a cone, you still have the perpendicular height that comes from the vertex down to the middle of the base, which is a circle. You have the radius that goes across from the center of the circle to the side of the circle, and you have the slant height. And notice it makes a right triangle. So if you're missing the height on your cone, then you know how to use the Pythagorean theorem to find it. All right, let's go over the formula. Volume of a cone is, again, it's 1/3 the area of the base times the height. So that means it's still going to be, the volume formula is volume is equal to pi r squared h divided by 3. But it may actually give you big B. So let's go back just a little bit and write, this is still volume is equal to big B times h divided by 3. The only reason I simplified your formula is because the base of a cone is always a circle, and the area of a circle is pi r squared. So if you would rather use this formula, you're welcome to. All right, so let's move on down and let's look at these last examples. Find the volume of a cone. Okay, so let's write down what our pieces are. 8 is our radius because it's only halfway across. If it was all the way across, it would be the diameter. So you would need to divide by 2. All right, in this case, 12 is our height. So we have all the information we need. We just need to fill it in. So volume is equal to pi r squared h divided by 3. That's our formula. Do we have those pieces? We have r and h, so we should be good to go. So it is pi times r, which is 8, and we're going to square it because that's what our formula says to do, times 12, which is our height, divided by 3. Okay. Leave your answer in the form of pi will be fine. If we square the 8, we have 64. So it's pi times 64 times 12 divided by 3. So we have, so that is equal to 768 pi divided by 3. So if you divide that by 3, you get 256 pi. This is a great answer. Okay, this is a great answer. All right, your answer may call for you to have that as a decimal number. So 256 times 3.14 would also give you an answer of 803.84. And this measurement is in inches. So again, remember it's cubic inches. Okay? All right. So I want you to see if you can do this complete last problem all by yourself. Remember, you do not have height, so you're going to have to use the Pythagorean theorem to find your height. You have your slant height, so you will use the radius and the slant height to fill into your Pythagorean theorem. Remember that the 5 is your hypotenuse, so that's going to be your c squared. And then these two are going to be your a and b squared. Then use your formula, pi r squared h divided by 3 is equal to the volume of a cone. Okay, so I just wanted to check in with you and make sure that you came up with a height that's 4 feet because you use the Pythagorean theorem. The 5 is your hypotenuse. The 3 and the h will be your a and b. 3 squared is 9. 5 squared is 25. Then to solve the equation, you have to subtract 9 from both sides. 25 minus 9 is 16. Don't forget, I don't want h squared, I want h, so I square root both sides. H is equal to 4. Okay, pause for a few more minutes and finish the problem. Okay, so did you get 12 pi feet cubed? It's pi r squared h divided by 3. Our radius is 3, so 3 squared is 9. Our height we found is 4, so 9 times 4 is 36, divided by 3 is 12. Now, one more thing. If we wanted it as a decimal number, remember, we would say 12 times 3.14, and that would be equal to 37.68, still in cubic feet. Don't forget, it's always cubic feet. Okay, thank you.